Welcome to the Calcutta Races, the last day of the Monsoon meeting, the 10th day, Friday, 29th October 2021 race preview. The first race we are looking at is race number 1, the Alarico handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. First runner we are looking at is horse number 2, Wandering Angel. Wandering Angel has had 3 starts in this season. In its first start, it finished on 5th of 6 runners. In its next start, it finished 8th of 11 runners. In its last start, Wandering Angel was travelling in 6th spot, made up 1 place and finished on 5th of 8 runners behind Fabian. Next up, we are looking at number 3, Nazakat. Nazakat is by Kindaka out of Top Romance. Nazakat in its first start, where it was racing in the wrong end of the field, was in 6th of 6 as they turned for home. Then Nazakat made some late gains and towards the inside in the orange and green, finished on 4th behind Robinson Crusoe, who was the runaway leader. Next we have number 4, Marina Bay. Marina Bay is by Win Legend out of Shorter Beach, has had 5 starts in this season. Its best start was in race number 33 over 1100 meters, where it finished on 3rd behind Legendary Striker. In its last start, Marina Bay was travelling in 5th spot when asked for an effort, didn't really have much to offer, finished almost 16 lengths from the winner, which was Swistado. Lastly, we have number 5, Hootson. Hootson has had couple of starts. In his first start in race number 8, it finished on 4th behind Ailani. In his last start in race number 38, Hootson was travelling in 6th spot, then made some late gains on the outside. On the top picture you can see in the white and blue, it finished on 4th eventually behind Criteria, who won that race by almost 4 lengths. We move on to the second race of the afternoon, the Jujube handicap for horses rated 21 to 46 to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Couple of runners we are looking at here. Number 1, Sea Sky. Sea Sky had a good season last time out, where it placed couple of times and won its last start in race number 121. And Sea Sky started from where it stopped in this last season. In race number 22, Sea Sky was travelling in 3rd spot, took charge into the last 200 meters and won that race in taking style. And number 2, Intellection has had couple of starts, finished on 4th in his first start in race number 17. In his last start, it finished on 7th of 8 runners. Number 4 is Shivalik Silk. Shivalik Silk has a recent run here in race number 46, where it was looking good down the center and took charge for a while. But the one who came up with a late charge towards the wide outside there was Chameleon's Image, and Chameleon's Image got the better of Shivalik Silk by about 3 parts of a length. In its earlier start, Shivalik Silk had won a race in race number 14, where it beat Bemuse. Number 5 is Appreciate, Win Legend out of Aroline, and Appreciate has been knocking on the doors, has been placing quite often. In its last start in race number 16, Appreciate was in 2nd spot, veered out on the wide outside and when asked for an effort, then tried to bridge the gap but fell short, finished on 3rd of 6 runners behind Robinson Crusoe. Number 6 is Creation of God. Creation of God had a start earlier in the previous season in race number 137, where it finished on 6th behind Oasis. In its last start, Creation of God was travelling in 3rd spot, then when asked for an effort, made up a place and finished on 2nd behind the runaway winner, which was Legendary Striker. We move on to the third race of the afternoon, the Silver Bear Plate handicap for horses 3-year-old only, rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. First, we have 2 runners. We are looking at number 2, Mandolin, who's had couple of starts. In his last start, was travelling in 7th spot, made up a place and finished on 6th. We also had number 5, Light in the Sky, who was travelling in 6th spot, fell back further and finished on 7th. The winner here was Legendary Striker, who won that race by over a distance. Next up, we are looking at number 4, Kogial. Kogial has had one start in the previous day where it was travelling in third spot. Then when asked for an effort, it was bridging the gap, but Trebian had already taken a sizable lead and Kogial had to settle for second spot. Number 6 is Sun God. Sun God has had couple of starts so far. In its last start, Sun God was racing in the wrong end of the field, was 11th of 12th as it turned for home, made up a place and finished on 9th of 12 runners behind Chameleon's Image, who won that race in the last ride. We move on to the fourth race of the afternoon, the Roll and Twist Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters for horses rated 21 to 46. The first runner we are looking at is number 1, Ember Glow. Ember Glow has had couple of starts in this season, finished on second in his first start behind Eastwood in race number 10. In his last start in race number 20, Ember Glow was travelling in second spot. Then the one which eventually won the race was Nova, who weaved a passage towards the inside and got that race, and Nova had to settle for second spot. We have two runners here, number 2 Nandini's Pet, number 4 Indian Tiger, and number 2 Nandini's Pet was travelling in a forward position into the home straight but fell back very rapidly, finished on 10th of 10 runners. And number 4 Indian Tiger, who was racing in front, then finished on second. The winner here was Shivalik Gold, who took charge into the last 200 meters and drew away from them. Number 3 is Script. Script has had couple of starts in this season. In race number 6, it finished on 5th behind Cletus. In its last start in race number 29, Script was racing in 4th spot, travelled a little wide throughout, then made some late gains. But the winner, which was Aftershock, had gone on a start to finish mission and held on readily. Script had to finish for second spot. Number 5 is Shopify. Couple of starts for Shopify in this season. In the first start it had in race number 16, it finished on second behind Robinson Crusoe. In its last start over 1400 meters in the Phillies Trial Stakes, Shopify was racing in the wrong end of the field, made some late gains and finished on 5th behind Scruples. Number 6 is Arnica, air support out of African Sky. Arnica, in its last start in race number 22, was travelling in front, as you can see in the white, red and blue jacket, but then weakened slightly and finished on 4th of 8 runners. The winner here was Sea Sky, who won that race by a widening margin of 5 lengths. Number 7 is Roman. Rodrigo Corner out of Love of My Life. Couple of starts for Roman in this season. In his first start, it veered out very awkwardly and went out to the outer rail. In its next start, Roman actually stuck to the inside railing, which is a positive for Roman. But it eventually, after leading the pack for most of the race, finished on 5th of 5 runners. The winner here was Indicator. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the Monsoon Cup, for horses 4-year-old and over, to be run over a distance of 2000 meters. First runner we are looking at is number 1, Consigliere, and Consigliere has had one start so far in race number 36, where it went on a start to finish mission, then tried to kick away from the field, but the late charge from Awesome One, who took charge and won that race by about 2 lengths. Next up, we're looking at number 2, My Opinion, who's come down from Hyderabad. Had its last start. The one we are looking at is in Ooty, and over 1600 meters, where it was traveling in 5th spot, made some late gains and finished on 2nd. My Opinion has had a mock race in Calcutta, where it went over 2000 meters and won that mock race. Number 3 is New Moon. New Moon was a winner in race number 44, where it beat Shivalik Silk, which was run over a distance of 2,200 meters. In its last start, going over 1,600 meters in race number 139, was travelling in front but fell back through the field and finished on 6th of 7 runners. The winner here was Rainbow Trout. Next up, number 4, Shivans. Shivans had 4 starts in the previous season, placed couple of times. In the last start, Shivans went over 1,200 meters in race number 19, where it was travelling in the wrong end of the field, but weaved a passage down the centre, was warming up into towards the front end, but finished on 4th of 8 runners. The winner here was Cavallo Veloce. Lastly, number 5 is Tudor Hall. Tudor Hall was racing in 4th spot. The race we are looking at is race number 23, where it turned in 4th spot as they entered the home straight, then made some late gains and finished on 2nd behind St. Petersburg. We move on to the 6th race of the afternoon, the Bet India Races International Cup for horses rated 95 and above, to be run over a distance of 1,200 meters. We have 3 runners we're looking at first. Number 1, Awesome One. Number 2, Lesdrill. And number 3, Prince Satsuma. Number 1, Awesome One, who was travelling in 3rd spot, tracking the early leaders, then made late gains and got that race by almost 2 lengths. Number 2, Lesdrill, who was travelling in 2nd spot, fell back and finished on 4th. Number 3, Prince Satsuma, who was travelling in 4th spot as they entered the home straight, tried to make a passage down the centre but fell short and finished on 3rd of 5 runners. The winner here was Awesome One. Next up, we're looking at number 4, Intense Stylish. Intense Stylish, after coming down from Bombay, its first start was in race number 130, where it was travelling in 3rd spot, then weakened slightly and finished on 4th of 8 runners. The winner here was New England, who came up with a late dash and won that race in the last ride. Number 5 is Rainbow Trout. Rainbow Trout has won 4 races in a row. In its last start, Rainbow Trout was in 5th spot as they turned for home, then shot through the rails and took charge and won that race by almost 2 lengths, beating Tudor Hall, who finished on the outside, came up with a late dash. We have 3 runners we're looking at. Is number 6, St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg, after having a lung opener where it came down from southern India and raced in race number 19, in its last start was travelling in 2nd spot, then when asked for an effort, accelerated and won that race. Number 7, Silver Bracelet, after winning in race number 12 in its last start, Silver Bracelet went out as a favourite but finished on 3rd. Number 8 was Areca Legend, who was racing in front of the field but dropped back and finished on 4th. The winner was St. Petersburg. We move on to the 7th race of the afternoon, the Django Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, to be run over a distance of 1,200 meters. Number 1 is Foolproof. Foolproof has had 4 starts so far. In its last start in race number 41, Foolproof was travelling in last spot, made up a place and finished on 6th. The winner here was Shivalik Gold, who took charge and won that race by about a length and a half. Next up, we have 3 runners we're looking at. Is number 2, Harbour Sunrise. Harbour Sunrise has had 3 starts. Its best start was in its last start in race number 34, where it was travelling in 4th spot, made late gains and finished on 2nd behind East Side. We also had number 3, Sheer Force, who was racing in front, but in the inside of the track, you can see towards the rail. Then it fell back very rapidly and finished on 8th of 10 runners. Number 6 was Cormorant. Cormorant was racing in 7th spot, didn't make any further improvement, finished on 7th of 10 runners. Number 4 is Astral Force. Astral Force has had 3 starts so far in this season, and its last start was travelling in 8th spot, stayed on in 8th, and the winner here was Redoubtable, who won that race by almost 8 lengths. Number 5 is Tamu's Choice. Tamu's Choice has had couple of starts in this season. First finished on 6th in race number 31, and its last start in race number 45 was travelling in 5th spot, then weakened and finished on 9th. The winner was Phoenicia Mist, who won that race by about length and a half. D Knight Mysore has met one better in each of his two starts. First, it went up against East Side, fell short. In its last start, D Knight Mysore took charge into the home straight but was challenged soon by Dundee Satyagraha, who got the measure of D Knight Mysore and beat it by 3/4 of a length. Next up is number 8, Daring Heart. Daring Heart has had couple of starts. In its last start, Daring Heart was travelling in 3rd spot, then was asked for an effort but found a little flat-footed. The winner was Adonica, who came up with a big run on the outside and won that race, and Daring Heart had to settle for 3rd spot, about 4 lengths from the winner. Number 9 is Whispering Grass. Whispering Grass has had couple of starts. First finished on 4th in race number 6 behind Cletus. Again, it went up against Cletus with a handicap pull. This time it was racing in 3rd spot, then came up with a run down the centre and tried to challenge Cletus, but Cletus kicked away and Whispering Grass could only finish 2nd. Number 10 is Summer Air. Summer Air has had 5 starts in this season. Its best start was its last start, where despite travelling in 12th spot throughout, into the last 200 meters, made some late gains and finished on 5th behind Chameleon's Image, who won that race by about 3/4 of a length. That's the lineup for the day. See you at the races. Thank you for watching.